It began harmlessly enough. My wife, Rachel, had always been a social butterfly. She thrived in the spotlight, soaking up attention wherever she went, something I never really minded. Her laughter could brighten any room, and her charm drew people in effortlessly. It was part what first drew me to her. But at some point, her craving for attention stretched beyond what our marriage could hold. It was a Saturday evening, and we were throwing a dinner party, something Rachel loved to do. She took control of everything, from cooking to decorating, even assigning the seats. This was her territory, and I didn't mind letting her take charge. We'd invited some of our closest friends, along with a couple of her workmates. One of them was Derek, a smug, self-assured guy who carried arrogance like it was a badge of honor. I never liked him, but Rachel brushed off my concerns. "He's harmless," she told me. The evening kicked off smoothly. The wine flowed freely, conversations buzzed, and laughter echoed through the house. I was in the kitchen refilling drinks when I overheard Rachel talking to her best friend, Emily. They'd tucked themselves into a corner, and Rachel's voice had dropped to a hushed, secretive tone. I wouldn't have paid much attention, except for what I heard her say next, words dripping with a mix of pride and girlish excitement. "Have you seen Derek? That man is a god. And Emily! He really knows how to use it," Rachel giggled, sounding like a giddy teenager. I froze. My heart slammed against my chest, and a cold numbness washed over me. For a split second, I thought I must have misheard her. But then came Emily's sharp intake of breath. "Rachel, are you serious? What about James?" Emily whispered, her voice laced with shock. Rachel let out a soft laugh. "Oh, come on. James is great, but he's so dull, predictable. Derek is different, and he's huge. James could never." She let the sentence dangle, the implication twisting like a knife in my gut. I couldn't breathe. The woman I'd built a life with over the past 10 years was openly boasting about her affair. Right there in our home, during a party I helped host. The humiliation hit me like a brick wall. But I didn't confront her right then. Instead, I walked calmly back into the kitchen, set the wine bottle down, and forced myself to think rationally. I played the perfect host that night, laughing, mingling, even chatting with Derek. On the surface, nothing seemed off. But inside, I was falling apart. I needed to know everything before I acted. Over the following week, I became obsessed. I scoured her phone records, emails, anything I could access. And what I found shattered any last hope I had. Explicit messages, photos, arranged meetings during her lunch breaks. The proof was undeniable. But I wasn't about to confront her quietly. No, I wanted her to face the full impact of her betrayal. I wanted the world, our world, to see exactly who she was. I began planning. I hired a private investigator to gather concrete evidence. That's when I discovered Derek had a wife, Lisa, who had just given birth to their first child. I contacted Lisa anonymously, sharing everything I knew. She was devastated, but thankful, and together, we decided the truth had to come out, in a way neither Rachel nor Derek could wriggle out of. 2 weeks later, Rachel decided to throw another dinner party. She was glowing, blissfully unaware of what was coming. I made sure Derek got an invitation. He arrived as smug as ever, tossing me a grin when he walked in. It took everything I had not to deck him right then and there. But I waited. The timing had to be perfect. Halfway through the evening, I tapped my glass gently. "Everyone, may I have your attention? I have something special to share." Rachel lit up beside me, clearly expecting a romantic toast. The room quieted. I connected my laptop to the TV. Rachel's always been the light of my life. I began, my voice steady despite the storm brewing inside me. But lately, I've discovered she's been sharing that light with someone else. A ripple of confusion spread across the room. Rachel's smile wavered. "James, what are you talking about?" she asked, a nervous laugh catching in her throat. I ignored her. I hit play. The screen lit up with screenshots, text messages between her and Derek. Vulgar, incriminating, unmistakable. Gasps broke out around the room. Derek's smirk vanished, replaced by a ghostly pale expression. Rachel sprang from her seat, her face burning. "James, Stop this. Stop it now. But I wasn't finished. I saved the grand finale for last. Photos my investigator had taken of Rachel and Derek embracing at a hotel. The timestamps left no room for doubt. The room exploded into chaos. Friends whispered in disbelief. Emily looked ready to be sick. And then Lisa, Derek's wife, whom I had quietly invited as my personal guest, stood up. "You disgust me," she spat at Derek. "You lied to me, to our family, and this is what you've been doing." She turned her glare on Rachel. With her, Rachel crumbled, tears streaming down her face. Derek stammered, "Lisa, please, let me explain." Lisa cut him off cold. "Explain? You think there's an explanation for this?" She turned to me. "Thank you for telling me. You've done me a favor." And with that, she walked out. Derek scrambled after her, calling her name. The room fell into an eerie silence. Everyone stared at Rachel, a sobbing mess slumped in her chair. She turned to me, her voice shaking. "James, can we please talk about this in private?" I shook my head. "Private? You flaunted him around in our home. During a party I helped you throw. You shamed me without a second thought. Now, you can deal with this right here in front of everyone." She broke down, burying her face in her hands. No one offered her comfort. Our friends were too stunned, blindsided by a betrayal they never saw coming. In the days that followed, Rachel did everything she could to win me back. She begged. She cried. She even tried to blame me, claiming I wasn't exciting enough. But I was done. I filed for divorce. And when it came time to divide our assets, I made sure everyone knew exactly why our marriage had collapsed. Rachel lost friends. She lost respect. She lost the life we built together. Derek didn't escape unscathed either. Lisa hit him hard in the divorce, and the scandal wrecked his career. As for me, I'm moving on. It hasn't been easy. But there's a strange peace in knowing I stood up for myself, that I refuse to be walked over. And while Rachel and Derek sift through the wreckage of their broken lives, I'm building something better. Without them,